hide behind is a cryptid that started out as a fictional moral story that was later turned into a myth, which still serves as a fable for those venturing into the forest. Before we get into this story, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when new content is uploaded. The hide behind is a cryptid that stalks people in wooded areas and have been blamed for disappearances in forests. The hallmarks of an encounter with one of these creatures is said to be the unsettling feeling of being watched and sudden panic, because the creature is always hiding behind trees. Ever since the creature was featured in the sixth animated short of the Disney cartoon Gravity Falls, which aired on October 18, 2013, it has resurfaced in tales in the United States. However, the creature was documented as a legendary creature in American tall tales as early as Charles Edward Brown's pamphlet Paul Bunyan Natural History, which was published in 1935 in Madison, Wisconsin. He described the creature as a very dangerous animal which has been held accountable for many missing lumberjacks. It was always hiding behind something, generally a tree trunk. Whichever way a man turned, it was always behind him. From this position, it sprang upon human prey, dragged or carried the body to its lair, and there feasted on it in solid comfort. Because of its elusive habits, no satisfactory description of it has ever been obtained. Some have made tenuous connections to people who went missing in forests, as mentioned in his article and the Missing 411 book series by David Paulides. This short description was expanded upon, and the creature completely illustrated in Henry Harrington Tyron's 1939 Wisconsin lore book, Fearsome Critters, where he wrote, "A highly dangerous animal, but owing to its intense aversion to the odor of alcohol, never known to attack an inebriated person. One beer has been proven to be a complete safeguard, even in thickly infested country. A biggish beast, standing about 6 feet and walking erect, the slender body makes it possible to hide completely behind a 10-inch tree. The pelt is long, thick, and black, and the tail of its carrier, bent backward, looks like a French sheepdog's. Almost impossible to tell whether the critter is going or coming, and practically hopeless to locate its face, if any. The short, well-muscled forelegs are equipped with grizzly-like claws. Its food is chiefly intestines. Leaping from its hiding place with a demoniacal laugh, it swiftly disembowels its victims with one swipe. Sometimes the fiendish howl frightens the prey to death before the blow falls. The hide behind is never found in the open. He always conceals himself behind a tree trunk. His marvelously quick, stealthy gait makes it possible for him to stay constantly behind his prey, no matter how quick the suspicious victim may spin, and in the hope of glimpsing the marauder, the beast can go 7 years without eating. The first time the creature was mentioned in a newspaper, it wasn't because of any encounter. A fictional story from the Pennsylvania newspaper, the Altoon Mirror, on December the 4th, 1948, described it as a friendly, saying, "A hide behind is always hiding behind a tree. You never see him, because whichever side of the tree that you're on, the hide behind is always on the other side. A hide behind is always a friendly fella, even though he's hiding behind and never talking. He never hurts anyone, and that's the thing to remember." The tale was a fable and part of a series of very short stories written by local Wesley Davis, which ran between November the 22nd, 1948 to August the 29th, 1949 by Wesley Davis. The limited series was announced on the front page of the November 19th, 1948 newspaper and described it as, "Daddy Ringtail is especially designed to please the kiddies. Daddy Ringtail, a monkey with his daily experiences with his friends of the forest, usually present a moral for the children to follow. Today, the most often cited source for this creature is from Robert R. Lehman Sr.'s 1971 book, Forbidden Land, where he attempts to legitimize the cryptid by linking it with Native American lore and Pennsylvanian writing. The Native Americans told about the hide behind, the most dreaded of strange forest animals. No one ever saw one of the creatures because they always hide behind trees, but everyone knew that they often follow travelers through the woods. If a person was afraid of them and kept looking back, the hide behind would torment them into panic. It took a brave person to be the last in line with a group walking through the woods. Old woodsmen said that the only way to overcome the fear of the hide behinds was to ignore them. The Native Americans, with the most connection to the Black Forest region of the Pennsylvania, where the creature was said to lurk are the Lenape. Their lore doesn't contain anything resembling this creature. Cryptozoology has reinvigorated interest in the creature. Feelings of being watched in forests without anyone around and sudden panic is cited as evidence in some cases. The feelings of being watched might actually lend a lot of credibility to these encounters. Currently, many neuroscientists have noted that even in cases where a person is cortically blind, the amygdala, the area of the brain involved in experiencing emotions, increases in activity. It's well documented that many people can even tell when they're being stared at from behind. Some evolutionary biologists have suggested that this talent might be a survival instinct that the majority of people still possess. The next symptom of being stalked by a hide behind could be more dangerous than the creature. If you've never experienced a panic attack, consider yourself lucky. For seemingly no reason, the adrenal glands start pumping adrenaline into your system, instantly throwing the sufferer into flight, fight, freeze mode. This was a welcome survival tactic when men lived alongside apex predators. Panic could get a person out of a life and death situation, but in the forest, with uneven terrain and possible dangerous features, a person could easily run off of a cliff. The dangers of explainable panic and seemingly peaceful woodland have a history stretching all the way back to ancient Greece, where the deity Pan was blamed for these sudden feelings in people who wandered into forested areas. Could there be a rational explanation to sudden terror while hiking? It's well known that hypoxia or lack of oxygen can cause these feelings. These experiences are always encountered in altitudes above 8,000 feet. The highest peak in Pennsylvania, where tales of these creatures are most prevalent, however, is Mount Davis, only 3,213 feet. Whether you believe in the tales of the high behind or not, perhaps it still serves as a fable, as Wesley Davis good-heartedly misinterpreted hiking even in groups and in well-traveled areas, can be very dangerous. No matter how long you might think you'll be in a wooded area, it's best to take all necessary precautions and educate yourself on every possible danger. And if you find yourself feeling like someone or something is watching you, trust your instincts. Leave your comments on this video, and if you like the content, consider hitting that share button and letting your friends know about this channel. Thank you.